Hello, and welcome to episode 109 of the Stress Knits podcast. My name is Stacy, also known as Stress Knits Yarn on Instagram and Stress Knits over on Ravelry. So today is March something. It's a Friday. I really am not keeping track of days, actually. I have my planner right next to me, which is shocking. It is the 27th of March. So how are you all doing? I'm doing okay. Yeah, so crazy. I'm sorry I haven't been posting as much as I wanted to. I'm slowly realizing that this is reminding me a lot of being stuck in a hospital for a month, so I am trying to also deal with those feelings. But now that I realize that's why I've been so weird about this whole lockdown thing, I feel better now that I know what is giving me that feeling. So hopefully more, I've had vlogs planned, I'm knitting a lot more, so hopefully whip down episodes will be popping up. So just thank you for your patience. And yeah, so today I actually have a finished object. I have 2 works in progress, and I have some things that are making me feel like a person. So I just wanted to share those with you in case there were anything that you wanted to try or things that you are also enjoying. So that's kind of the roadmap for today. It's been threatening to rain for like the past 2 days, but it's supposed to start raining tonight into Sunday. So I'm hoping after this I can take my dog Esther for a walk. Yeah, it might be important to tell you where I'm coming from. I live in Metro Detroit, Michigan with my husband Doug, who is sleeping in the next room, which is why I feel super weird about recording, my daughter Eliza, who is napping, and our pug Esther. So that's where I'm at. And yeah, so we went on lockdown Monday. I think it was Monday. Yeah, so we're just have the stay-at-home order, which is fine and is good. Doug is working from home. He has been for 2 weeks now. It is a little scary because a lot of his stuff has been canceled, which is good that it's been canceled, but money-wise, it's a little scary. Yeah, and I've just been knitting and dyeing yarn and trying to keep the shop stocked, which shop stock is behind me. And I'm the dyer behind Stress Knits Yarns if you're new. Yeah, it still feels really weird taking time out to do this podcast, but it's something that I love, and I hope you also love it. So yeah, because I don't know, it just feels like there's way more important things going on, but I also feel like it's important to still do things that we love that we can do. So I'm saying so a lot, but here we are. I have my cold brew. This is Starbucks sells cold brew in like a jug. Usually I get Stoke, but this was on sale, and so I just bought a jug of Starbucks cold brew unsweetened, and a while ago I bought one of their vanilla syrup liters, which I really love. And yeah, that's what I put in my coffee. I just put a little pump and some ice and my coffee, in case anybody was curious. Also, please forgive my hair. I haven't had a haircut since July, like right before SSK last year. And it looks like it's gonna be a while until I have another haircut, so it just is. But it wasn't looking good up today, and I was just like, you can just be down. Anyway, Let's talk about my finished object. So I finished a pair of socks, which feels weird because I haven't in a long time. But here are my 2 socks. So these I cast on in November. This is the 25th skein, the full skein in my advent calendar from 2019, and it is called Last Christmas. It's based on the song, but it also just reminds me of my parents' house at Christmas. It's cozy, and we have this 9-foot tree, and it has a bunch of different colored lights, and everything just feels warm, and like the candlelight gives that pretty pink orange tint, and yeah, so that's what this was based off of, but also the name of my favorite Christmas song. So happy to have these off the needles. They will be going into my holiday Christmas box of socks that is actually living right down there. And yeah, I'm really excited to wear these when the weather is cooler in a few months. Yeah, so it'll be nice. I really love this colorway. It will be making a debut in the shop in probably October. So watch out for that because I really love this. This will be my first official Christmas colorway that will be going into the shop. So I'm really, really excited about that, and I'm so happy to have these socks done. I did my basic vanilla sock, so I use a size US 1 needle, which I think is a 1.25 millimeter. I use Addy sock rockets, they're my favorite, and I magic loop. So I use a 32-inch needle and I magic loop my socks. It's my favorite method, and I just vanilla sock, 2x2 ribbing, vanilla sock, reinforced heel flap and gusset, foot, and a wedge toe. I decrease down to 12 stitches before I do the Kitchener stitch, and it just fits me really well. I love these socks. I cannot wait to wear them, and I'm really proud of this colorway. And this is definitely a colorway that doesn't have to be Christmassy, but it's called Last Christmas. So, yeah. Alright, so that is my finished object. And then after I cast off those, I decided to cast on another vanilla sock in my yarn because I love this colorway. It's bringing me so much joy, and it keeps selling out really quickly. I just restocked it again, and there are 4 skeins left. So this is SSDGM, which is Stay Sexy, Don't Get Murdered. It's from the podcast that I'm pretty sure everyone has listened to at least once or has heard of, which is My Favorite Murder. And that's their like slogan catchphrase at the end of shows. So yeah, this I dyed in 2017, so 3 years ago. I never think of it as an original colorway because it wasn't in like the first few shop updates, but it was definitely in it's been in the rotation for a long time, but then some dyes got discontinued, and I've been trying to replicate it for a long time, and I figured it out. It's a little different than it was originally, but I'm still super happy with it. So it's just a very light bluish, grayish mint color. It's very hard to describe as the base. And then there's just a million colors of speckles. So I really love it. Here it is in the cake. The cake makes me really happy, especially like this little, I love all the little peach sections. And then here is my sock. So it's just a very simple, basic vanilla sock, same pattern as I just stated. Yeah, that's true to color. It's a very light base color with all the different color speckles. Yeah, there's blue and green and peach, yellow. Yeah, I don't know. I love this colorway. Yeah, so I'm just enjoying knitting on this occasionally. There's another project that I just cast on that has taken over my vanilla knitting, and now that we're not going anywhere, I don't need purse knitting or anything like that, so this is kind of just when I feel like knitting something a little smaller than the sweater that I just cast on. So yeah, basic vanilla sock. This is my favorite sock base, so is this, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It's wonderful. That's why it's called favorite, because it's my favorite base, and my Addy sock rockets size US 1. And then we are hosting a knit along, and I'm so excited about it. I'm so happy so many of you are joining in. I think this is the perfect garment. It is. I'm obsessed. I cannot wait to have this done. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit of a slog in the beginning because the beginning is twisted rib flat. So purling through the back loop is not my favorite, but it's so worth it. And I love this sweater. So I'm talking about the Rift, R-I-F-T, by Jacqueline Cieslak, who is just an amazing designer, and she's all about size inclusion and body positivity and fat love, which I love. It's wonderful. And she made this pattern. She's also the same designer as the Ursa, and this pattern is just, it's genius. So it starts bottom up. It is a sport weight pattern, but I definitely think you could get away with a fingering weight that's closer to a 400 yards per 100 grams, like my favorite sock base, or anything that's a little plumper, because sport weight is this weird, it's like a heavy fingering. Like, that's how I've always thought about it. I do have a sport base, but I don't carry it in the shop because it doesn't sell. There aren't a lot of sport weight patterns out there, which is a shame because this base is gorgeous. So if you're ever looking for a sweater quantity or like a shawl quantity of sport, just email me on the website and I will hook you up. But anyway, there are also plenty of amazing dyers who have sport weight. I know Sweet Sparrow has an amazing non-superwash sport weight, and I've been tempted. If I love the way that this fits, I think I'm going to order a sweater quantity in that, which I'm really excited about. And knit another one because I love it that much already. So yes, let's talk about the pattern. So you knit it bottom up. You start each ribbing panel alone. It said you could leave it on the same needles, but I didn't have a long enough needle to make that comfortable for me, so I just used a spare needle. Like, I used my spare signatures to hold the other one while I used my Addies to knit the ribbing. I decided, so the pattern calls for a US size 8, which I think is a 6mm. I could be wrong. But I didn't like how open my gauge was with an 8, so I went down to a 7, and then I just decided on my own to also go down on the ribbing because the entire thing is knit on one needle size. But I like the way that ribbing pulls in when it's knit on a smaller needle. So I went down to a US 5 for the ribbing, and then I went up to a US 7 for the body. The pattern does not specify it, but I just know how I like my garments to look, so that's what I did. And yeah, then you join it in the round once you're done with the twisted rib. And it is a high-low, as you can see. So I just finished a row and knit like 10 stitches past. So yeah, the back is much longer than the front. So the back is like 3 inches and the front is 1.5 inches long. And then it's just miles and miles of stockinette, which I love, but there is an amazing side seam detail with twisted rib all the way up the side, which I think is just the sweetest little detail. Yeah, so that's also mirrored on this side. What else can I say about this pattern? I am going to be knitting this longer. It is meant to be a cropped t-shirt, and I know myself, I'm not going to wear it if it's cropped, so I'm going to make it basically the same length that I made my Woodwardia, if you are a viewer who's been around for a few weeks. So I knit I'll just stand up and show you. So this is an oversized long t-shirt because I'm going to go for a walk, but it's like my hip is here, and I usually wear high-waisted pants, but I think I'll knit the tee to like this length so that I can tuck it in if I want into a skirt or into jeans, because that's really what I wear, besides leggings. Yeah, so I just want this to be a simple top that I can wear out when it's not 1,000 degrees outside with 100% humidity, because that's what Michigan is in the summer. And my hair goes that, and I sweat the entire time, and I hate it. So this will probably be a wonderful transition piece. So the Rift Knit Along started the first day of spring and is going through the first day of summer, which is June 20th or 21st, one of those. And then I will be drawing prizes, and one of the prizes is 4 skeins of Stress Knits yarn, either on my favorite base or my singles base, in a colorway of your choice. And there will also be a mini skein bundle as another prize. And like I said before, if we have a lot of people participating, I will pull out some prizes that I have. So yes, I'm obsessed with this. I really hope you join because this pattern is just so versatile. I am planning on doing bust starts for the first time. I like barely make it to the, I think it's like the EF bust starts. And so like my upper bust and my full bust, like I'm right at the last, like the first proportion in the bust start sizes. So I'm just going to try it because I've always had issues with shirts rising because I have a large bust. So yeah, so I'm just going to try bust starts for the first time, and I'm really excited to see how they work. And just all of that. Excuse me. It's also allergy season, which has made me very paranoid, but I always have allergies from mid-March to mid-May when they're the worst. So like my eyes are itchy, my throat is itchy, my nose is itchy. Yeah, and I just have a tickle in the back of my throat probably like 3 times a day, and I just had one, so apologies in advance. Yes, but the Rift. So the colorway that I'm using my sport base, which is 100% superwash merino. It is a very high twist. It's so springy, which is, I love this base so much. So it's very, I don't know if you can even tell, probably not, but it's high twist. It's very springy. I want to knit everything out of this. I've actually been contemplating, so I made a Madewell as a comfort knit when I was going through my miscarriage and all of that stuff, and that was one of the projects that really got me through the week after all of that happened. And I've been thinking about making another one. It's the Madewell by Joji Locatelli, who I love. I love that pattern, and I love her. And so I've actually been thinking about knitting another one, and I knit the first one in my my squishy base, which is just this cozy cashmere, super soft base, and I'm actually carrying it again, which I'm so excited about. But I want something in a little less luxury, and also that doesn't fit me anymore. So I've been thinking about knitting one in my sport base, which I'm very excited about. So anyway, I love the sport base. I'm using the grubby colorway. So I'm about halfway through the first skein, and when I get to about 25% of my yarn left, I will start alternating skeins. The way that I dye my speckled colorways, especially the ones that are just a single color with a single speckle, so like grubby and no trail to follow, I dye the entire dye lot in the base color, and then I speckle them all individually. And so I'm not super worried about this being super stark contrast. I do want to alternate skeins while I'm transitioning between balls, but I'm not super worried about it. Yeah. So there's that, but I will do helical knitting when I get to that point, which I'm actually hoping to get to today. So that is really, this is what's been taking up most of my time. It's just such a joy to knit. I can't recommend this enough. So there are bust starts, there are 2 different necklines, and you can also do one on the front and one on the back if you want, which is really cool. I'll be doing the crew neck because that's just what I wear. Eliza's trying to go down for a nap and she's angry. I'm gonna close the door. She's been struggling to take naps lately, so I'm just trying to give her some quiet time and see if she naps because she needs to. Yes, so there are 2 different necklines. There's a V-neck and a crew neck, and you can do the same one, you can do different ones. There is a long sleeve option and a short sleeve option. There is a custom fit bicep, which is really interesting, and the bust starts, and it's such a wearable, cool pattern, and I think everybody needs one in their wardrobe. And a lot of people that are knitting along with us are knitting their second or third one because they love it that much. So it makes me very excited that this is the pattern that we're doing the knit along with. So yes, Rift by Jacqueline Cieslak. Highly recommend. It's just a joy to knit on. So that is all that I'm working on. I do have one stash enhancement. So I've been wanting to knit another weekender for a long time. If you are new to the podcast, I have knit 2 weekenders. I knit one fully, and it's fine and it fits, but the tubular bind off around the neck is tight, and I don't like the way that feels. So I went to knit another one as a sample for SSK last year, which is the Super Summer Knit Together hosted by the Knit Girls. I'm shaking my desk. If you don't watch the Knit Girls, you should. They're a wonderful podcast. They're one of the first ones I ever watched. Yes, so I went to knit a sample for them, or for my booth at their event, and somehow the center slip stitch detail got off. So like, of course it was on the front, and it just went boo, and it was very obvious, and I couldn't stand it. So it's like sitting in the back of my closet. I haven't touched it. I haven't frogged it. So there's that. So I decided that when Brooklyn Tweed announced that they were offering a discount and also giving back to their local yarn stores, their stockists, I decided to order a sweater quantity for my weekender. So this is it. It's my favorite It's my favorite Brooklyn Tweed colorway. I've already knit a sweater in this. Longtime viewers will remember my Timber cardigan by Shannon Cook that I knit out of this, but I haven't touched it since because it has bad memories. So, yeah, and also just wouldn't fit now. But yes, so this is Postcard by Brooklyn Tweed, and I love it. I'm so excited. This is going to be a weekender eventually. I don't know when I will cast it on, but it's just the most beautiful colorway, and this dye lot of it, the tweedy, like the bright pink tweediness is just, it's stunning. So I'm super excited to do this. I'm excited that I was able to give back to a stockist as well. So that's all the yarn that's come in. So let's talk a little bit about what I've been doing to kind of make this whole situation with COVID-19 more livable. So I'm going to preface this by saying everybody is different and everybody copes differently. So if I'm doing something and you're like, why am I not doing that? You're doing fine. Everybody is doing fine. This is unprecedented. No, none of us know how to deal with this. So don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself a break. I actually, in my planner, I have goals that I write at the beginning of the week. So I said, keep walking, yoga, dye yarn, and give yourself a break, because I've been really hard on myself and I'm like not doing all the things that I need to be doing. And like, I haven't vacuumed in a week. Like there's just things, and I need to do laundry and wash our sheets and like all of that kind of stuff. And I'm trying really hard to not be too hard on myself with that. So just give yourself a break. This is weird and we have no idea what we're doing, right? So I'm just going to show you how I've been coping a little bit. And also self-care looks different for everybody. So also there's that. So one of the things is I've been taking care of my plants, which I love. I'm so glad I got into plants before all of this started. This is a new addition. This will be going in Eliza's room when we're done painting. So you've seen my bigger rubber tree, which is sitting right there, which I look at every day and I love. There's a new leaf that just opened up and it's so pink and beautiful. But Eliza's room is going to be it's going to be the same as her nursery in our apartment. So it's going to be a super dark gray with white trim. And I know, I just thought this rubber tree would be beautiful in there. So this is a ruby rubber tree. There are 3 different kinds. So there's the variegated or the Taniki, the ficus Taniki, which is, I'll just show you because I love it. I'm obsessed. So this is one kind, and so it has like whiter variegation. I just don't know how this plant is real. So that is my version, the one that's in my office. And then there's this one, which is also variegated, but it's more of a ruby red. The bottoms of the leaves are red. The variegation is more pink. So that will be going into Eliza's room. And there's also just like an all over burgundy green one. And it's like burgundy and dark green. I also ordered that one because I'm obsessed with rubber trees. They're my favorite plant at the moment. So taking care of my plants has been really nice. I've been watering them and like pruning them back and getting rid of dead leaves and just trying to make them happy. So that's been a lot of fun. I've been trying to go on walks almost every day. It's really nice now that Doug is home, because when Eliza goes down for a nap, I usually take Esther out for about a 2 to 3 mile walk. And I don't know, I just pop in my headphones and we walk around the neighborhood. And yeah, that has been really, really nice. Yeah, because Eliza, I love her so much, but she is not really a fan of the walks and doesn't like her stroller. So she likes to be independent, but then we'll get somewhere and then she'll just sit down. And then I have to carry her back, and she's very heavy at this point. I mean, she's not very heavy, but 25 pounds, carrying 25 pounds a mile is a lot. So, we've been going on shorter family walks with Doug and Eliza as well. So walking has been really nice. I'm still doing yoga, which has just brought me a weird sense of peace and stillness in a time where I just feel like everything is just out of control. So I really am enjoying that. I'm doing yoga with Adrienne. Her 2015 30-day challenge today is, I'm on day 27. So that's really exciting. But I also love down dog yoga. I think her name is Erin Gilmore. That's the one that I usually do. So that's been helping, but I also know yoga isn't for everybody, so, you know. What else? I have been burning candles. Love candles. So the one that's currently burning, not currently, I don't have it lit, but it's rose water and ivy from Bath and Body Works. It's one of my favorite scents. I love anything floral. But my new love is Lavender Rose by White Barn. And it's just the best smell. Because I love lavender and I love rose. Both the smell and the taste. Fun fact. But yeah, so I've been burning those. I have been doing some skincare stuff. So I have a few of both of these, but this is the Sephora foot mask. It's the lavender one, and yeah, you put these little weird plastic socks on your feet and have them on there for 20 minutes, and my feet just felt really good. So I'm doing that. And then I also have a Sephora brand hand mask, but I just used my last one. So that's been helpful, especially because I'm washing my hands nonstop and my hands are just very upset about that. So the moisturizing my hands felt really good too. This is my favorite thing in the entire world. I also got this from Sephora because my sister, the middle sister, because I have two older sisters. So my sister Alyssa, who is the middle, she got my sister Kelly and I these face masks for Christmas, and I used it, and I went and I bought so many of them because I love them. So it's a Vital Hydra Solution by Dr. Jart Plus, and it is the best face mask. My skin has never been happier. I am someone who is prone to hormonal breakouts around my period, and I don't know if that's too much information, but there it is. But I get hormonal acne in my chin really badly, in my chest, and also stress acne in my chest and my chin. So, yes, so taking care of that right now has also been really great. But I'm also really enjoying watching TV and movies. So I just finished a rewatch of The West Wing, and I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. I also started Schitt's Creek, which, if you haven't watched it yet, I feel like I'm the last to this party. I have never laughed so hard at a show in so long. Like, it's amazing, and I love Eugene and Dan Levy, and it's a wonderful show, and I highly recommend it. I watched a few like Netflix rom-coms that I didn't really care about. Yeah, but the last thing is I'm starting to read more books, which is good. So I'm going to give you 3 recommendations. So I've talked about this one before, but I haven't picked it up in months, but I started reading it again. This is I Might Regret This by Abby Jacobson, and this is her. She's one of the Broad City people. Yeah, so I'm reading this. I got it for Christmas from one of my sister-in-laws, and I'm just really excited to get back to it because it's very, I don't know, I just kind of need fluff and a little bit of substance right now, so this is perfect. And then I will be reading this book, which I just got, which is The Upside of Being Down by Jen Gotch, and it's all about how I'll just read the subtitle, How Mental Health Struggles Led to My Greatest Successes in Work and Life. So I'm curious about this. And then I bought something that's a little heavier, just for when I need something to make my brain work a little bit more. And it's by two of my favorite writers, or was put together by two of my favorite writers, and then there are amazing essays by other amazing women. And it's called Believe Me, and it's Jessica Valenti and Jacqueline Friedman. I always say Friedman in my head, but it might be Friedman. Not sure. But it's How Trusting Women Can Change the World, and I'm very, very excited about this book. So those are the three that I'm focused on reading right now. Yeah, so like that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to continually do things so days don't go by so slowly. We're watching a lot of Disney Plus with Eliza, which is fine. And she loves Frozen and Frozen 2 and Moana. Those are like the three that are on repeat in our house. I've tried to get her to watch other things, but we're also having dance parties. And, oh, that's one thing I wanted to mention. So, if you like dancing, or if you were a dancer and dancing just makes you like feel really good and fills you up, Ryan Heffington, who is an amazing, amazing choreographer, he is doing free Instagram live cardio dance workouts. It's so much fun. I did my first one yesterday. I put it on with Eliza in the room, and she like kind of danced and like played with her soccer ball and read, and it's like she didn't really care. She like bounced around with me for a little bit, but it's an hour of just dancing, and the first 20 minutes is warm up, so it's stretching and warming your body up. And honestly, that part kicks my butt more than the rest of it. But I laughed and I cried through the entire hour, and it just felt so good. So if that is something that's up your alley, he's doing, the next two classes are Saturday and Sunday, but he's also doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And you can donate if you want, but yeah, it's just it's fun. And like yesterday, one of the things was like, get your chores done. So we hammered some stuff and we did the sheets, and it was so much fun. So highly recommend that. Yeah, as far as the shop goes, the code Stay Home is still good for 15% off. I'm going to extend that until, I don't know when. So just keep using it. I am hoping to have a shop update in the next week or so, where I will be reintroducing my squishy base, which is merino cashmere nylon. So I'm really excited about that. And I just want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you who has purchased yarn from me. It's humbling, and it means a lot to our family, especially because Doug's a freelance videographer and photographer, and he's doing a lot of animation stuff right now, but it's all very up in the air, so we just really appreciate that. So with that, I hope you are having a wonderful Friday. I cannot wait to bring you more content, hopefully. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, and I will see you next time.